I love it when unassuming projects sneak up on me and end up creating unexpected thrills. There's a new film coming to VOD called Ghosts of the Void that examines a relationship breakdown, and it lingers in unease and scary interactions. So, are you going to want to check this one out when it releases? Spending the night in her car, a newly homeless woman wrestles with exhaustion, her crumbling marriage, and the threat of mysterious masked strangers. Now, this has a very limited cast, with the majority of the film spent focusing on our two protagonists. We meet Jen and Tyler as they're driving up to a park in the middle of the night. They got a mattress strapped to the top of their car, and we quickly learn that they've just become homeless and have very little cash. So they decide to stay the night in the parking lot of the park and then figure out what their next steps are going to be once the sun comes up. This patiently builds, giving us a lot of background information on the couple and why they're in their current predicament. It's not spelled out chronologically, but instead is delivered in choppy flashbacks that give us snippets of interactions and emotional occurrences that then intermingle with their current strained conversations that are taking place in their parked car. There is a ton of tension between the couple, each delivering vague but biting comments that are meant to wound and then show the level of hurt that's present in their dissolving marriage. Neither is happy, and the actors expertly capture the dissatisfaction as well as the hopelessness that they feel in their situation. And while the story may take a little too long to explore the couple, we spend about 40 minutes of just their conversations and flashbacks, but it does work to create an atmosphere that is bitter and untrusting. And I was on edge before anything takes place in the story, which worked to its advantage by making me uncomfortable and weary of the dark environment well before crap starts to go down. Now, the couple begins to hear and see some odd things while they banter back and forth. They think they see a figure out in the distance, then a drone flies around their vehicle, and then something else happens to their car. All of this is massively unsettling, and then to ratchet up the stress, Tyler, he decides to explore out in the darkness, peering into areas that he just should run away from. And all the while, because it's established at how tired Jen is, but still unable to truly fall asleep, she becomes somewhat of an unreliable narrator. We're shown what she sees, and it's questionable whether or not the visions are real. And for as slow as the first half of the movie was in eking out details and then building suspense, the final half of the story is wrought with anxiety and dread, and then freaky scenarios that are quick, violent, and disturbing. Now, the movie's rather short at just 90 minutes, but I appreciate how the first half is used to suck me into the characters and their plights. Not necessarily feeling sorry for them, but investing me in what's happening so that when things start to go really bad, I'm fully engaged and loving the ride. Now, I think where the story falters is in the patient storytelling of that first half. It runs the risk of losing viewers because it's indeterminate on where the story is headed and why we should care. The other portion of the story that could be a drawback for some is the ambiguity of events towards the end of the film. We're shown conflicting imagery that works well to mirror the mindsets of Jen and Tyler, but it can also come across as uncertain. Now, for me, I enjoyed how parts are a bit up for interpretation. The themes within the story, they're relevant and intriguing, especially as the narrative delves deeper and deeper into the relationship with Jen and Tyler. We're shown where they both have shortcomings and how each of their interpretations to interactions work to set up strife and conflict. And it's easy to find blame in each of them, which then makes their experiences in the park even more harrowing. Now, some events may seem deserved, but there's at least one holy crap moment that begs a question on whether something was actually deserved or not. Now, if you're looking for a happy ending or even something that's satisfying when it comes to justice, this isn't going to deliver that. There's a huge amount of melancholy that permeates the entire story, with the ending delivering a fitting and earned conclusion, but it's still one that's dire and discouraging. So it's perfect for a dark thriller. So overall, the minimal setting and isolated location work to deliver hopeless dread that compounds the intensity of witnessing a dissolving relationship. The pace is slow and deliberate, and while it can take too long to get to the action, the build-up and engagement from the extensive development is rewarded by a harrowing and uneasy conclusion using conflicting imagery and distressing violence. There's no sex or nudity, some profanity, and some brutal violence. I give Ghosts of the Void 3.5 out of 5 couches. So what's a slow burn thriller that you've seen that you could recommend to me? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.